This is the process shot. I'm Michael, I wear glasses, and I've seen Grey's Anatomy, a comedy drama kind of deal from 1996 directed by Steven Soderbergh. It's not really a traditional narrative movie, since it's essentially a filmed version of a stage performance by Spalding Gray, delivering an autobiographical monologue detailing his diagnosis of a macular pucker, an eye condition which has affected his vision. Fearful of New York hospitals, Gray seeks alternative treatments for his condition, from cutting his diet down to raw vegetables to attending an Indian sweat lodge, detailing his feelings and experiences throughout all of this. Being a literal one-man show, and a monologue at that, there isn't much to say regarding the film's story or plot, since, again, it's hardly at all a traditional narrative. In fact, the film is almost literally nothing but Spalding Gray sitting at a desk speaking into a microphone. But the filmmakers recognize that this might not necessarily be entertaining, especially given the stories of the monologue and the absurdity of the events being told, or the people brought up within the stories. So, to help illustrate these and keep things visually interesting, the movie takes the environment around Gray and changes it from a simple and empty room into something far more representative of the monologue's events. For example, when Gray talks about bright lights or blurry images, the lighting around him will change in time, or the camera will be filtered to show what Gray might have been seeing himself. These changes happen dynamically as well, in time with the performance of the monologue, further bringing the story to life and making Gray out as someone perhaps larger than life. The room itself, and even Gray's desk, are removed at some points, allowing Gray to escape and go outside of this zone and into other worlds, so to speak. He is still sitting down, though. Grey's Anatomy is able to maintain a steady pacing, keeping itself moving despite its lead character being confined to a chair. This is mostly in part due to the structure of Gray's monologue, but also because of the smoothness in the film's editing. It may not seem like much, but there is definitely a good sense of timing between cuts in order to keep the story flowing well without any overlaps or long pauses in the monologue, and without any scene changes that come suddenly. It might also be helpful to note that throughout the film, and in the film's opening especially, there are on-the-street interviews with various people featured, each of whom have had an eye injury in the past and relay their experiences, later giving their opinions on the various alternative routes that Gray himself takes up for his own condition. They're short, but entertaining, and they help to break up the tension of the film's events, being edited in at appropriate times, generally when Gray himself is introduced to whatever that alternative is. Overall, there's not much I can say about Grey's Anatomy, at least critically. It's an immersive experience for the viewer, and really sets a bar for how performances and monologues like this ought to be filmed, at least in a way which would keep things interesting. Everything flows smoothly and without any major interruptions, despite the relatively radical approach to illustrating the story being told, and in this way it comes together both as a single ongoing performance and a truly cinematic affair. Grey's Anatomy, Steven Soderbergh, 1996. 4.5 stars. I definitely recommend seeing this if you can. And that's the end of the review. You know the drill by now. Like, comment, sub. I'm just gonna chill out here for a while.